Greetings and salutations. This is Pandora the Eclectic, and today we're going to look at something on BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed. Yeah, I watched Sarvania COD, and I'm also watching I was watching a much older video, but yes, as you see, I also this is going to taste like black people or something like that. Okay. Yep. 2-minute video about black video, BuzzFeed yellow. You know, that should be in of itself kind of racist when you think about it, but okay. It's your channel.
Need a website? Go to Wix.com. Just drag and drop anything. Create your stunning website today. Go to Wix.com. It's easy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Why do you always make such horrible decisions in horror movies? It's not cool to split up. Why do you freak out?
Okay. Let's start off with this one. Let's start off with that one. Okay, first of all, horror movies. The definition of horror, and I'm just going to go off by this, usually has something to do with frightening, scary, terrifying, and all that stuff. So, last time I checked, unless only white people get scared in horror films, and never black people for some odd reason, is beyond me. Okay? Yeah. So, stupid question number one, kind of defeated. Yeah, no. Both get scared equally in horror films. In fact, I think one of the most older horror films is to have a black person in it. Wasn't it the Night of the Living Dead or something like that? And technically that had black people as the monsters as well as the titular character. Yeah, well, not titular, but, main character. Anyways, oh, yeah, and I don't think most people in any horror film, since the beginning of time, have ever made any good decisions. It's kind of based off of emotions, and most of that's fear, and fear does not help. So, shut up. Daphne.
About when black people are cast to play white fictional characters.
What's the big deal?
Nobody really cares if a black person plays a titular character. I think the only one where white people might have had a problem was with Johnny Storm from, I think, wasn't it Fantastic Four, or the reboot one, which most people have said was relatively terrible, and I can respect that. I can respect them having an issue with it, because in the other two that came before it, he was, I don't know, white, and he also was a brother to the one other character in that movie. So my question is, how the hell? In fact, actually, here's a good question, madam. If anything, if that was going to work, because still you left the female character, the main female character in the movie, she's still white. So why couldn't she have your complexion and that work? I mean, no, he have your complexion. That work. However, it turned out it was from a different thing. It was mostly continuity issues at best. No one really cares. I mean, it'd be probably cool to have a James Bond character played by a black person. Though I would probably say, are you sure it would only be white people who'd gotten pissed? Because a lot of times there are some situations where a black character is cast in some film, and you know what? Some of the social justice warriors, get a little pissy because we don't want a black person playing that character, because what if he gets hurt? Even though it's fictional, ain't real, so, you know. But it seems to be A-okay. Hey?
Idris Elba plays James Bond. I would go see it twice.
Why is a big butt and big lips considered attractive on a white woman, but they're unattractive on a black woman?
You don't really think.
Well, it depends. I hate to say this, but some people really don't look good with duck face, and that's not just black and white. That's anybody. Anybody with big ass lips, a big ass butt, that sometimes can be unattractive, even if they be black. Because it's usually the proportions of the said thing on their body. It may just look completely unnatural. Like, I don't know, Nicki Minaj trying to pass off her big ass as her own. I'm sorry, it's plastic, Nicki. It ain't real. I don't care. Just because you're black, it does not mean your butt is as big as the back of a station wagon. That just doesn't fly for anybody. Okay?
Miley is the one who created twerking.
Really?
Why am I supposed to teach you how to twerk? I don't know how to twerk.
Well, you can either get lessons on how to twerk, or don't twerk. You don't have to. You also don't have to teach anybody. No one's asking you to. We kind of want twerking to die. We like it to die out. It is the most hideous, horrible thing I've ever goddamn seen on television. And this is coming from another black girl, by the way. You know, I can't twerk myself, so don't worry. Hey, I don't think we'd probably be in a similar predicament. I don't know how to do it either. You could just simply say, sorry, don't know how to do it. I mean, unless you're afraid someone's going to revoke your black card or something. Is that what you're afraid of? Seriously? Especially on such a thing as twerking. Big whoop. Yeah. And also back to what the gentleman said, like the discovering of twerking when it's going on in the black community for the longest time. Well, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of things black people rediscovered that white people have been doing for ages, and it became popular. Why? We don't know why. It's like, yeah, I got no idea why. Hey, you know, just to be fair. Huh?
Why is it that white people always act as though they have discovered a new trend when people of color have been doing it for virtually years?
Why is it when a
Like I said, discovered. The word discovered. Because I don't think it was a thing until recently. In the white community, okay? Anyways, continue on.
a black woman wears her hair natural, it's seen as inappropriate. But when a white woman does, it's praised.
This is
Well, first of all, maybe it's just me, but I have natural hair, and it looks okay for the most part. I think part of it is a lot of you guys want to go from, because there's two different kinds. You can do the natural hair where you actually, I don't know, took a comb, ran it through, with a little bit of oil after washing it and whatever, and that'd be okay, you know. Then you got the hair like what she's got going there, or what this woman has here. hair, which almost looks like it's kind of close to being a full-on afro if it wasn't styled. That's usually the thing. Hey, because yeah, for white women, it's usually flat, and she can pull it back into a ponytail, and it stays out of people's way. You know, she even has to kind of keep it from being in everyone's face, and depending on where you work, you know, I really don't think I want to find hair in my food, whether it be really, really curly, or especially black curly hair. Think about it. Would you want to find any black hair, whether it's black people's hair or, well, God forbid it be pubic hair in your food? No? I thought not. I thought not.
The hair that I was born with, so you wearing it as a trend is not cute.
Like, can you appropriate?
Okay, now cultural appropriation. Okay, well, you know, right now, you're probably most likely appropriating the internet for your, it is a weak ass video, and I'm sure a lot of white people, a white woman specifically, would want that back. Like, cell phones, certain forms of music, like, or actually, yeah, even white people wouldn't have control for that, because I think that's German in heritage, so yeah. So yeah, they will lose power over that, motherfucker. And I'm not sure if, well, no, the same playing black man before this point. I was going to make a Macklemore thing, but yeah, this guy, oh, but I could probably say the plaid thing definitely was not a black person thing for a long time, and so that t-shirt probably belongs to white people, so yeah, good job, BuzzFeed.
Being my student loans? Can you take that off my hands? Why is it white crime?
Sweetie, would you take that off of anybody's hands? No, I thought not.
Seen as an isolated incident, but black crime is a representation for my entire community.
Well, first of all, I think they're both isolated instances. Yes. However, I kind of think there's lots of people who made a big stink about how horrible it was for a certain person to be killed. And I think I might get their names wrong, but one was Michael. I apologize if I don't remember their names exactly, but yeah, the fact that somebody a black kid gets killed or whatever. Oh my God, we got to basically say, oh my goodness, a black person was killed. Let's get all upset over it and have days upon days and days and days and days of watching you all protest and nonsense like that up and down the streets of wherever the hell you are. Now, mind you, the people who were there, well, they didn't live there, but still, it's kind of like they still identified as black people and trying to speak on behalf of black people, like Black Lives Matter. I believe that's the name of their organization. So, yeah. I think there's enough stink made about it. However, someone like Elliot Rogers, who, yes, he killed other people, continues to be demonized till no end. And you tell me about that. Or Timothy McVeigh, or, good grief. And last time I checked, I believe they've, I guess that's all I gotta say. I was gonna say something about the, what's that person, but if the glove does not fit, you must acquit person. I believe he got off easy, did he not? It's like, and he was black, or we just, he got away with, well, we assume he got away with it, because, well, if it didn't fit, he didn't do it, probably. And I believe he didn't do it, okay? It had nothing to do with whether he was black or white, it was the substantial evidence and everything, but, never mind. Anyways, moving on.
When we see a story on TV about a white serial killer, I don't automatically assume that all white people must be serial killers too.
Why does talking about race make you feel so uncomfortable?
Is it because you think that you'll be perceived as racist if you talk about race?
You don't really believe that racism is over because we have a black president.
Why is it so easy?
Here's how I go with it. First of all, no, I don't think it's so much that racism is over, but I kind of think, when we have allowed a black person to become president, and nobody really, let's put it this way, I, for one, didn't really care that much about Barack Obama being black, and being black and being president, and because as far as I'm concerned, that could have happened 20 years ago. Okay? 20 fucking years ago. It's just that maybe some black people just didn't want to. So, why? I got no idea. Of course. But here's the thing. It kind of shows that means the government's not punishing you all for doing something that was abnormal, and also it's not so much that it proves the people there aren't racist. Frankly, I think anyone can be racist, but I think of it as being a little less unfair towards black people when a black person is able to succeed in an area that was once not considered succeedable. And at least proves that a certain institution isn't racist. And also when you look at all the other stuff that black people were in, like in my town, or not my, well yeah, my town and my state, we've had our first, we had one of the, I think it was one of the first black police captains, I guess, that might have been it. We now have a black woman as the captain. Does it end racism? No. Frankly, I think what would end racism is if we not, care if it was a black person or not. But that's going to go into the color blindness thing, because, yeah, that's basically it. There's no winning this battle because you guys will not let it go. Because, yeah, it happened over something amount of years. Let's not let it die, shall we? Anyways.
For you to notice when there are no white people around, but you hardly ever notice when there are no black people around.
Why is your goal to be colorblind?
Maybe it's just me, but, to the question about, like, how many, the amount of black people around thing. Well, let's put it this way. I probably wouldn't notice if I don't know those people very well, or I'm not used to seeing them very often in the first place. Because, yeah. Or maybe I came from a town where there were a lot of black people, and so I'm kind of used to there being a lot of black people, and so I just assume everyone else there is black. So, yeah. I'm used to it, so I may not notice or care if there are or aren't any. Okay. Just like if it was vice versa for your town. I may not notice the race or the color of those people anyways. That. But anyways.
There's so many different types of people in the world, yet you can't see color.
What?
Okay, this is going curious. Well, again, I think I'd rather have color blindness where people treat me like everybody else and treat me fairly. You know, justice is blind for a reason, kind of deal, and I'm judged on my merit, not on my race. So, yeah.
I didn't want to say the N-word so badly.
I don't use
Because you banned it, moron. If you hadn't banned the word, then probably less people would want to say it. It's natural because, I don't know. Have you ever heard of this thing called prohibition? You know, when they made alcohol illegal, it became more interesting and people wanted and seek out for it more and more. Because they fucking banned it. That's what happens when you ban something. You make it more interesting to the people who want it. And that's what happens. It's just a natural knee-jerk reaction. It's basically, don't do this, Billy, or, you know, whatever possible punishment there might be for your actions. That's
what makes you think you can?
Why do you always want to touch our hair?
no one wants to touch your hair. But if, God forbid, there be something in it that might be crawling around and might want to point it out, you know. I don't like people touching my hair any more than anyone else, and that goes for black people too. Well, mostly because, yeah, my mother is pretty damn strict about doing my hair, and God knows, braids felt like they were. I think there's a reason. My mother used to make jokes about how that would almost pull her face back. That's why you're not going to see her age well into her 60s. And she would say that, like, that's why she thinks she's not going to age well into her 60s because of that. This is just the braiding and all that stuff. That's how tight it is. But at the same time, I don't think most people would to do that. Anyways, continue.
I told you it was okay to touch people without their permission.
Why do you feel like having one black friend makes you a cultural expert for another races?
Is your only black?
Now, first of all, it does not necessarily mean. I don't think anyone thinks it makes them a cultural expert. Just like I don't think you guys are being cultural experts either. Okay? Another is, what was the other? Maybe that said black person was a cultural expert as well, by the way. The funny thing is, what, he has a white friend, so vice versa. You know, he knows something about white people. You might know something about white people. Maybe not all white people, but the things that some white people may like. More than, say, the person who was asking the said questions, like you people are doing right now.
Friend comfortable with being the reason why you can't be racist? By that logic, then I'm not racist. I have a ton of white friends. Why do you feel comfortable, Kurt?
Well, first of all, I don't think it so much stops you from being racist. However, when you think about it, why would a racist, someone who is a supremacist type of person, white supremacist, as well as the white as a race who would be racist towards any other race for that matter, would want to hang out with someone who is, you know, that race? Yeah, sorry to say this, but someone who does not like someone typically doesn't spend their time with them or likes being around those people. At best, they only want to spend time with them in places where they have to. You know, they just suck it up. They suck it up for work and everywhere else. But, you know, when they're at home or something, they don't want to be bothered with it. You know, unless they have a child or a wife or someone who has a friend, they might suck it up then, but that's it.
Say at your parents.
Why do you kiss your dog?
You know, I have seen colored children curse at their parents. I have seen plenty of people at all ages get cursed at their parents. You know what usually happens? That's usually a good spanking. And on the colored thing, hey, I've heard children who I have known a person and who I'm pretty damn sure was adopted, who was cursing at her white parents. So either other countries don't really notice those are actual curse words, because there are some cases where, you know, that whole cultural background thing comes into mind. Some words are curse words in some parts of the country, and some people view certain things to be curse words. You know? Go figure. Yeah.
On the ballot.
How come you can't pronounce black names like sponge and eggs, but you say
I don't know. There are some people who can't spell certain names either. Yeah, I think just recently I learned out how to spell my cousin's name. Because here's the thing, most of the Rachels that I always knew spelled it Rachel. My cousin has an extra A. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to spell it, just telling you that it was spelled differently. Okay? So it may be pronounced differently. Okay? Because, hey, there's lots of names I don't know how to pronounce, and they come from all different parts of the world. Just depends on where you live as well. Okay? However, you know, you live out here in the South, unless it's like New Orleans, dirty, black South, you may not have heard of those names, and that's it.
names like Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and football just fine.
Why do you feel like all lions' lives matter?
Yeah. Anyways.
But Black lives don't.
Why is a lion?
Yeah, we all thought the whole thing. I think pretty much everyone thought that whole line thing was stupid. We also think Black Lives is stupid. Black Lives Matters is stupid, but not for the same reasons. As one, and we think it was stupid with the line because it's like, people, let it go. Seriously. And, you know, he shot a line, it's a mistake, move on. Well, with Black Lives Matters, we think you're stupid because you guys are acting just as, if not more, racist than the said people who are supposed to be racist. And so you guys try to prove that you're not racist, and have failed at that at best. Because, you know, of course, we have to have this weird, miscued thing where you have, well, benevolent and malevolent racism. Even though I think, you know, it's either going to be one or the other. It's racist because it's harming my way of living and my job and all that stuff, or keeping me from doing something that really has nothing to do with race. Your race has nothing to do with it, and you can prove it, obviously. Hey, well, sometimes there are cases where, yeah, you know, frankly, I prefer, if I had to pick any of the stupid Twitter hashtags, there you go. Yeah, that's another reason why this shouldn't fucking matter. Twitter hashtags are stupid. Most of the time, if not all the time. They're started by stupider people. You know. I believe I will pick All Lives Matter because, yeah, I think Black Lives Matters is nice and all, but I think that's just as exclusive as say if it was White Lives Matters, or Black Lives Matters, or any other person who isn't as the same race as me matters. Okay? Okay. Idiot.
Is life in Africa more important than the lives of black people here in America? What does Simba ever do for you?
I get it. Lion King was an awesome movie. So was Selma, and so was Malcolm X.
Why is it so hard for you to acknowledge your privilege?
How does it feel to
I hate to say this because maybe the said people you're talking about don't have privilege to begin with, you moron, especially depending on who you're talking to. I think you're gonna talk to someone who has privilege. You should be talking to someone like Trump or something like that. Trump or Joan Rivers, who's dead right now, but you know, rich people who are actually the ones who are privileged. Wow. Talking to some random white person who is just trying to eke by just like you are? What the fuck? You know, I'm starting to think you're the one who's privileged. And frankly, I think it's called you are the one who thinks he or she is entitled to something. And you're not.
not be the spokesperson for your entire race at any given time?
Has to be nice.
Yeah. First of all, I'm black, and I certainly don't think I'm supposed to be a person who's supposed to speak upon everybody's behalf. And why is that? Why is that? Because, in my opinion, I believe that those people can speak for themselves. Okay? If they can't, I'll try to listen to what they have to say, and then maybe see what I can do. But ultimately, that's how I feel. Because I think actually that's racist, because it's the assumption someone is too stupid to take care of their own damn selves. Okay? Okay. Anyways, that's the end of this video, as you can see, and you can look at more stupid things on their video. Yes. And, I guess that's all I gotta say. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and please click subscribe, and, well, keep it frosty. Hey.